man. This is it.
All right, this is it, baby.
Episode 1. Before I explain like what the podcast is to everybody, I thought that I would say why I wanted to do a podcast with you, Johnny, my good buddy here. We worked on a cruise ship because we knew each other from before, you know, just like festivals and stand up, but not super well. But we worked on a cruise ship gig together. And when we first kind of saw each other on the ship that we were going to be working together, I came up to him. He's like, "Oh, what do you do to pass the time?" You know, and I was like, "Well," and I came up with all these pretenses because I was very embarrassed about what I was about to tell him. I was like, "Yeah, you know, my brother-in-law has this like Nintendo Switch thing, and I've never really used it, but he gave me some games, and you know, I thought I'd try it on the ship. It's not what I don't normally play very much, you know." And then Johnny, you tell me what.
I got so excited. I couldn't wait for you to finish your story. I was like, "Oh my God, I have one too!" Because I had none of those excuses. I literally went to the store because I wanted one really badly and bought it and got the game before the cruise.
And so that was like the first time. So that was like the first thing. And then there was like so many other ways where we were living these, I felt like parallel lives. And then we were having these long conversations on the ship. So anyway, when this quarantine happened, you know, I knew it's like time to do a podcast. Let's go. Out of options, out of excuses. So, and I knew I wanted to do one, and I thought of who would be fun to do one with. And Johnny was the first person I thought of because I feel like we're living these like the same life really, but just in two different, it's like the Twilight Zone or something, or like where you're living parallel universes. And the only real difference is like you have 3 kids, but I feel like everything else lined up. Like we both moved to LA around the same time, both left LA around the same time, both moved back to like medium-sized cities, both been doing stand-up about the same time. And both now out of work.
Both struggling to get our states to give us our unemployment.
Oh my God, I know. It's been a nightmare. Probably for everybody listening who's trying to get unemployment. But anyway, so what this is the Cavalry, me and Johnny here, we're going to do it. Basically, the idea is we would always come to each other like you probably do with any of your friends, and you would bring things you need backup on. So arguments you've lost either recently or throughout your life or any time, and you need to go to your friend and get backup, and that's what we're going to do, and we're going to bring every week, try and bring some arguments that we're losing in the real world to each other and get some backup and feel better about ourselves. And obviously we need a lot of that right now because we're taking a lot of L's out in the world.
Yes.
So how has your week been, Johnny? How are you doing?
It's going good. I mean, being quarantined, like I feel bad for people that are like literally on their own, but I mean, at times, you know, I am jealous of that because I am here
right.
with my family, you know, like a lot of people that are with their family. So it gets tense. It's nice. I try to stay on the positive side, but yeah, it gets tense.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm quarantined with my wife and my brother-in-law, so it's a good group. You know, no kids. That's the big difference. And it's just like it's weird. It is weird. This was the first day I think where we were both like, me and my wife were like, you know, let's go out for dinner tonight. This is the first time we were like, let's go see a movie. Like we really wanted to go out, and we totally had forgotten that you just can't do that. We were like, you know what? We've been good.
So well.
We've been good lately. Let's go to a concert. It's like, oh yeah, that's not a possibility. But anyway, speaking of the quarantine, I'll bring my first big gripe that I need backup on, and this is a current one, so it fits with what we were just talking about. But how is it? So you're in Madison. We should tell people you're in Madison. I'm in Portland. Both pretty similar cities. Again, I'm telling people parallel lives we're living, but also pretty liberal places, pretty hippie, you know. Free love, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Very open-minded, all that. And especially when this first started, I felt like people were doing a good job crossing the street. You see somebody coming. I don't know what your policy is, but I see somebody coming on the sidewalk 50 feet away, 10 feet. I'm crossing the street. I take the onus on myself. I'm happy to cross the street to ensure the social distancing. And even if you have somebody on the other side of the street, then I'll just take the middle of the street. We'll just take over the street. I have no problem doing that, you know? And yes. It was going good. It was going good those first few weeks. But now it's like pedestrians have turned into drivers or something. And the courtesy level is dropping very quickly. And it's gotten to the point where the last 3 or 4 times we've gone walking, every time, again, I'm happy to do it. I'll go way outside. We're going up these steps. Just for this last time, we're going up the steps, my wife and I, and we had our dog. And we kind of I had to like walk into bushes basically to give the 6 feet of distance for these people. And they see us take the 6 feet, go into the bushes to give them room. And then no acknowledgement, no thank you, no head nod, just like straight down the steps with
Do they scoot at all to the other side of the stairs?
No. They barreled down.
Down the middle. Oh.
I gave them the right of way, barreled down, and then no acknowledgement of my good citizenship. Not a head nod, I think. And it's gotten so bad the last 3 times, I've almost done the horrible thing. Which I hate when other people, but I almost hit him with the "You're welcome." You ever hit him?
I thought you were going to say I almost hit him with coughing in their face as we.
No. I'm way too passive aggressive. But I almost under my breath I hit him with the "You're welcome." But it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy because it's like we're all in this like crazy pandemic, whatever. We're all trying our best, and then not to even give a little or a quick wave or like thanks, like I know it's crazy, you know what I mean? Like a nothing.
Well, do you think that they, just playing devil's advocate, do you think maybe they are the type of people that don't play that game where they're just like, oh, they didn't even realize, we should be like, they're not social distancing. They're like,
so they get
outside.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt that they're just morons that don't believe the virus is going to infect anybody. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't think so, just because it's Portland and everybody's like pretty lockstep in thinking here. They're pretty much the same way, but perhaps they're, but it's a lot of time it's older people who have the most to lose. It's like, I'm doing this for your benefit, right? Yeah. I'll probably survive. You're the one. You know what I mean? With the most to lose here. But
I'm doing this for you.
Right. Totally. Yeah. I'm doing it for them. Yeah. But so maybe they don't believe in the virus, but I think it's more just like it's the same thing with driving. It says no one's driving anymore, so they have to take that alpha energy out as a pedestrian. Because it used to be pedestrians had no alpha energy because they were walkers. Nobody cared. You can't have alpha energy as a walker, as a pedestrian, but now they have nowhere to drive. So it's all coming out now. I feel it. And it's getting really bad.
It's all coming out in their summer walks.
Yeah. And these aggressive summer walks.
It's funny because like I since I've got nothing to do and I still need to get out of the house, I started trying to run. So I've been running. And so I've been noticing that, everyone's out on walks or, because no one's doing anything. And a lot of people, when they're walking together, instead of going to one side, like I'll be coming at it and they'll split. Like one will go on one side and one go on the other. So I'm like, well, right. You guys are walking together, so you guys
right.
They just trust each other, and it's like, oh well, let's just make this guy go down the middle.
Like you guys know, if one of you they're like, well, he can't give it to both of us, but you. The way diseases work, you kind of can, right? Because once you come back together, you've now given it to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so have you noticed that at all in Madison? Are people pretty courteous with the distancing?
Yeah. It's honestly, it's a split from what I've noticed, like just being out and about, like on walks and stuff, is some people totally, if they see you coming, they'll cross ahead of time. So it's like, oh, we don't have to have that awkward close decision. We'll just do it ahead of time so we don't ever, have to do that. But then there's some people that are just like, they'll just walk right by you and, they don't even care. I scoot over ahead of time, but it's funny. On my last run, and I tried to start running because I'm terrible at running. But there was a guy on a walk, and he was ahead of me, walking the same direction as me, and I'm running, and he's large, and he's walking, not running. And I'm thinking, okay, so when I get up there, I'm gonna have to decide. All right, do I go on his right? Do I go on his left? Should I just cross? I was like, oh, I'll figure that out when I get closer. And I am so slow, I just never caught up to him. So it was never an issue at all.
You're like a Navy captain who sees like a ship way off. You're like, oh, when we catch them, we're at 12 knots. We're gonna catch them, and like, no, you misjudged the speed. They were much faster.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I just feel like the courtesies running thin. Like people started with more, and we're getting to the point where there's no. I have noticed more masks and less courtesy.
You have noticed more masks?
Way more masks. So I feel like the masks have become a substitute for caring for anybody. Like once you wear the mask, it's almost like you're like, they don't even recognize me anyway. So I can just be a total dick. Like no one's going to report back to the neighborhood. I don't know, but people lose all sense of social responsibility once they're wearing a mask. It's a dangerous society. Everyone wearing masks.
I had to do one of our grocery runs today, and I was at Trader Joe's, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are wearing masks, but I just don't think people are that others centered. Like I think people that wear the masks think it's a form of protection for themselves, and that's
what's ironic, right? Because they say the mask is really just protecting other people
from yourself. Yeah,
right. But deep down, everyone's like, I bet it's helping me a little bit.
Yeah,
I know. I think that
I don't
way.
want to breathe their air.
I'm like, they say it's not helping me, but it's got to be helping me like some, right? It's like a mask, and you get it through your mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But then I'll see some people that like they're at the grocery store with their kid, like little kid, no mask, and I'm just like, have you not seen the news?
No, man. No? They don't care. They're not worried about it.
Yeah, I guess not. Like, I don't know any old people. Whatever.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like that's what's so funny to me too. It's like everyone's like when they downplay it, it's like it's just people over 80. Like they can't imagine a scenario where there's an 80-year-old person that they one care about, or two they themselves might be 80 one day.
Yeah,
it's the most short-sighted view ever to be like that only affects people. When would I ever have to deal with that? I'm 35. Will I get older? Probably not.
Yeah. I sure hope people don't have the exact same attitude as me in 45 years.
Right. This future doesn't seem to be getting more dystopian. I'm sure I'll be all right.
It is crazy though. Just like you just take a step back and forget, like, because it all happens so quick. And it was just like if 2 months ago, 3 months ago, even you could just jump forward 3 months and go to the grocery store and see everyone wearing masks, you'd be like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah. What would be the weirdest thing if you were 3 months ago and you just woke up in a coma and no one told you what happened? What would be the thing that like would weird you out the most? Would it be the masks, the no traffic ever at rush hour, or the lines to get into grocery stores? I feel like that's a weird, because that's like a kind of like you associate that with like the Great Depression, like people waiting in lines for bread and all that stuff. I don't know what the weirdest thing. Probably the masks.
The masks,
I guess
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Seeing everybody.
It's just like, creepy.
It's already become a fashion thing. People have their like floral, and they're like,
oh, I know.
It's like, this is a mask so you don't get COVID-19.
Right. Yeah. When will the fashion statements end? Like how far will the hazmat situation get before people will stop putting like Dolce and Gabbana logos on it? Like the glass shield over your head has a Nike swoosh on the, like how far will people take it? Maybe when people go to space, like the billionaires go to space, they'll have tricked out space suits.
Instead of that boring white, they'll have
Yeah, I mean, we're sick of that white,
yeah, just not as cool.
become very sterile.
What's the point of being in space if you don't look cool?
Right, you know you're gonna be on TV. You know what I mean?
Right, you gotta have your Nikes.
They should do it like astronauts should do it like, you know, like college athletes when they know they're gonna get on ESPN for a second, they lift up their jersey to show like they've got like some message written in Sharpie on their undershirt. You know,
Yeah.
It's like for Kevin, you know what I mean, on his spacesuit. I don't know.
All right. So yours.
You got.
So here's mine. I don't know if
Okay.
it's.
You need some backup. Here we go.
And this is recent. This is last night. So my wife is she fits in well in Madison. We'll put it that way. You know, she's
Okay.
And I talk a lot about her on stage being all natural and hippy dippy and all that. So anyway, last night, and we've had this discussion before, and then I sort of ignored it, which made it a bigger discussion last night. But the whole.
Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Wait, that didn't work. Just ignore it.
You just
Wow.
ignore it and it goes away.
I'm shocked.
Sometimes you think it works, but then like a week later, you're like, oh, it made it work.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
How did?
So this is what it was. So it's the
Okay.
whole sleeping with the phone, your cell phone, near you or on your nightstand next to your head.
Of course.
Like, so she's very, all right, we shouldn't do it. We got to plug it in out, you know, in the bathroom, out, you know, out of the bedroom, which is, okay, that's fine. I did it for a night the first time she brought it up. And then,
yeah.
and then I just pretend, you know, I did forget. Well, no, on the record, I want to say that I did forget.
Yeah.
And then I just, you know, and then I just slept with it on my nightstand, plugged in, so that I can, you know, set my alarm, put it there. I don't have to get out of bed 3 times unnecessarily. And it's just more convenient. Now and she was like, "Oh, you're just blowing it off." I'm like, "I'm not blowing it off, and I don't think it's food. I don't think it's like hippie. You know, I don't think it's like magical. There's no EMTs or. I'm not saying I don't believe in the harmfulness.
Well, let's say what that is. What does your wife say? Like, or what is what is she referencing?
You know how like the electromagnetic,
the waves.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and it's not. I think, you know, science.
Yeah.
Science has proven it is not good. But here's my argument.
You've read the study.
Right.
You all know what we're referencing here. The not goodness of the things.
Cell phones. You just sit
Oh,
and
yeah.
sleep. I mean, even if you haven't heard me describing it, you're like, oh yeah, that sounds like something that's real. Anyway, so to me, my argument wasn't, oh, I think you're being, you know, a weirdo and you believe in witchcraft. I'm saying, yes, that's true. It's probably not good, but the convenience of it being next to my head at night and when I wake up outweighs whatever damage it's doing.
Sure. See, you're saying when does the cure become worse than the virus? Yeah.
I gotta write
You're
that
like
down.
the protesters out in the street trying to reopen the economy. This is worse.
No.
This is worse
I'm not
than the
doing
cure.
that. I'm not doing that.
No. But I hear you, and I thought. See, I didn't know if it was like when you slept next to your phone, it was like an actual like electronic waves going in your, or if it was just because I knew you slept better when your phone wasn't next to you, but I didn't know if that was because there's like a subconscious thing where if you know your phone is there, you're always like about to check it or whatever, or if it actually.
No,
it sounds like you're saying there's actual
like waves.
Waves.
I don't know.
Sounds so stupid.
Put a couple of scientists here.
This is circling our hands around. Yeah, the waves. You know, but you've heard about waves. Sure.
I'm trying to prove someone else's point.
I just imagine you in a lab coat in front of like 100 other scientists and a big university somewhere. Come on, you know what I mean? The big waves, and they go through everything. You know, you've seen it.
Who's that tech guy that always says, you know what I mean, but he never explains anything?
Right. How did he get the into MIT?
it's like he's mad at me for not knowing what he's trying to tell me.
Well,
But honestly, I don't
okay.
know if it's it's the cell phone or if it's Wi-Fi, because at one point she mentioned Wi-Fi devices, so now we have to not have the iPad near the bed.
Oh, all right. Well, I agree with you. I do not. I like having it because the first thing I do every morning is fill my head with poison about the world.
Terrible news. Yes.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, maybe they cured it. Nope, worse than ever. So that's usually like how I spend. So it probably would be healthier to leave it in the other room. But you're saying the convenience. But what convenience is it giving you, really?
Well, let's say I'm laying in bed and we're going to bed and it dings. Well, now I gotta get up and, you know.
You're not gonna leave it to the morning.
No.
Right.
No, I mean, what if it was a hilarious meme that someone sent me? You know what I mean? It could be anything.
Right.
But like, I mean, anything. You'd forget to set your alarm, or you're like, oh, that's right, we have to order, you know, Windex or, you know, whatever those late night urgent things you need to do are.
Well, see, this is perfect. So you're saying, like, even if it adds years to my life, I'm willing to sacrifice those so I don't have to keep getting out of bed to check.
Well, that's, if I had concrete evidence that it's taking years off my life,
yeah,
I would, in a heartbeat, put it in the bathroom in a lead vault. But
okay.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's very vague, where it's like,
we need to see some more conclusive wave evidence.
Yeah. Right now it's, well, they're going to find out how bad it is in the future. And I'm like, well, okay, well, when that happens and they have that evidence, let me know. And
let me know.
Changing my behavior.
We're like those guys in the 60s who kept smoking because they're like, who knows, you know?
Right.
I feel like I'm that way.
It sounds like we both know we're wrong, but
yeah, no. It's easy to see because because it's easier, right? Anything that's better is going to end up being bad for you for sure. So,
right.
Yeah. But I think it's ironic because it's like I used to have a theory that you could tell how old someone was by how far away they sleep from their cell phone. So like the older you are, the farther away it's kept from you, you know. But then we're gonna be old one day, and if you want to survive, you got to keep your phone. Maybe they do it out of survival. Old people know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm with you. I keep my phone by the bed, and to hell with it. You know what I mean?
There's an outlet right next to the.
How far away?
The bed and the.
Maybe there's a compromise. Like, what if it's just like, you know what I mean? What if it's like halfway? What if it's by your feet? Could you just have it by your feet?
She would be happier with that. But then
and you could just like
I might
switch.
As well, you know, I might
you could do the rollover move to get it. You wouldn't even have to get up. You could just like kind of roll down the bed and check it.
You
like
mean,
lay on your stomach.
On the bed by my feet?
No, but just at the foot of the bed. Plug it in somehow so it's at the foot of the bed. So if it dings, and then if 100% you'll get up in the middle of the night and trip on the cord and kill yourself. But I don't know. I'm trying to back you up here, but I'm trying to come up with compromises as well. You know, I'm trying to.
Yeah. Maybe my first one that I needed backup shouldn't be one where I brought to the table knowing I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, no. That's perfect. No, that's perfect. That's perfect because we're trying to get out of the box
I'm
here.
Lazy. Yeah, I'm just arguing my laziness. I need to maintain my laziness.
Okay. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll try and. This is a way for me to support. Maybe I will try to sleep with my phone away from the bedside table in solidarity. Okay. I'll try it tonight. We'll see. But I'm just going to put it in the closet. I'm trying to think because I'm not going to put it in another room. That gives me like anxiety.
Yeah. Well, we have a dresser, like a short dresser that's like right by the door. That's like, you know, on the other side of the room. So it's in the room, but you got to get up to go get it. And that's another thing is her alarm. She does not wake up to it. So I gotta, you know, when we both sleep with our phones on our individual nightstands, I can just push her and be like, hey, your alarm's going off. Get up. But this, I gotta go get her phone, you know, stick it in her face. She just won't budge.
That's how you wake her up. You just stick the alarm. into her face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what would happen? So what's the end game here? You're just going to do it?
Do what? Her
Do it her way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There's no.
I'm going to try it, but it's annoying.
But
I mean,
even,
you know what I'll do? This is reality. I'll do it tonight and tomorrow because the talk was last night. So I'll do it tonight, tomorrow, maybe the next night, and then we'll probably talk about this on another episode again.
No, it's like the you're trying to flatten the curve of getting yelled at.
Right.
It's like, look, I'll quarantine for but how long can this go on? I can't do this.
This is not
indefinitely
sustainable forever.
It's not sustainable for the economy. So I'm going to do this until no one's freaking out about it, and then I will put it by my head again. Yeah. What if you wore a protective device at night from the waves? Like, what if you wore like some sort of like hat?
You know what? Similar to that would be turning off the Wi-Fi, because that was another compromise.
Oh yeah.
Like, well, then just turn it off, put it in airplane mode, and turn off the Wi-Fi, because then the beams or whatever don't shoot out.
There you go. That's all we do. That's how we fix it.
I could do that.
Yeah. Perfect. That's a solution.
But then I'll be laying there like, oh, I wonder if there's a meme that's just waiting for me when I switch it off airplane mode. Right.
Right. That's something that's funny too, because like I think that's why I'm like extra anxious lately, is because we used to fly on planes so much, and that would be that one time where you were disconnected. It would be the one way to unplug. And I have not had like a second.
And you said you like that though, right?
I love it. I mean, I love
because it's forcing you to. So
it's forcing me to. I would read. It's the only time I'd read. People are talking about how much they're reading in quarantine. I haven't read at all. It's like I have unlimited internet all the time. I'm not reading.
I still have the book I brought on the cruise.
Right.
I haven't opened it yet.
Oh my god. There's like when people tell me how much they read, it's like, what was there a power outage where you live? Where there's some sort of thunderstorm?
What else happened besides the pandemic?
Right.
Like you have to read.
This just in no scenario. Like I need it taken. I need to be in a cave before I like unplug from that stuff. But then once you do, it's kind of nice,
Yeah.
So Wi-Fi. Let's go on airplane mode. We should just like all simulate airplane mode situations.
It's funny because my biggest fear, like when you go into airplane mode, on an airplane you have to, because you just have to, or whatever you're supposed to. You're not gonna have a signal anyway. But like when you do it on Earth, like it's because I'm afraid, I'm gonna miss that email for like. I don't think I've gotten an email or a text that was time sensitive in probably 3 years.
Right.
But I'm always scared. Well, this is gonna be the one.
I know there's nothing worse than like going for a long time, especially like if you're traveling internationally. That's like a great, and you had like a long flight home, and your phone's been on airplane mode for like a week or something, and you're expecting this avalanche of communications. People are so desperately trying to find, where were you? What happened? Right. And you have no messages. You could have died.
Nobody even knew you were gone.
Nobody even knows or care. Yeah. No one's too upset. The world just keeps moving on.
That's so funny. Whenever I would do a cruise, like it would be like 3-4 weeks later, I'd get a voicemail that's like, hey, are you on a cruise? Your voicemail says you're on a cruise. And it's like, oh, this is the first time anyone's heard my voicemail, and it's 4 weeks after I got back on land.
Right. The I'm out of town voicemail. I didn't know people still do.
I would do it occasionally. I'd be like, hey, I'm out of town. So they'd call and they'd be like, hey, I'm going to be out of the country until 3 weeks ago. He needs to update his voicemail.
I didn't know people still updated their outgoing voicemail. It's very professional of you. My wife and my brother-in-law, it must be a family trait, but they let their voicemail fill up to the point where the Verizon lady or the Apple lady just tells you, this person, it's full. And then you're like, that only happens to people who are like kidnapped or dead. You know what I mean? Like that's such an emergency, frenetic thing. Like before I met my wife, I was like, if that had happened, I called someone, I'd be really worried about them, Yeah. And then I was like, she just has never cleaned out her voicemail box and doesn't care to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't do. I would never be that because that little number on your icon,
Oh yeah, gotta get to
just
0.
bugs me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got to clean them up.
I clean out my emails. Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's like people are like, "Oh my god, I have like 5,000 unread emails." Like, I clean it up. So how busy are you? You know what I mean? I'm like sitting here waiting on emails just to read them and delete them.
Yeah.
I got all the time in the world. Okay, I'm gonna get to my next one. This one is more of a classic because it's something that both this happened to me my whole life, but you can't really do right now. And it's when you go out to eat and my wife does this. My mom used to do this all the time. It really bothered me. And when you would order, so when you go out to eat, you order in a sequence somewhere. And I would always try to go first because I knew what I wanted. And I didn't want people to, I just wanted to get what I wanted out. And I didn't want to look like I was ordering something that somebody else got. I would get very anxious. I did not like people doing the same orders, right?
Would it bother you if they ordered similar after you had already ordered?
Yeah, so that's what happens though. So I'll order and it's a good order. I always get, I like to eat. I always get the best thing.
Sure.
Get a lot of compliments from waiters.
I've heard that about you.
Yeah. People say that. It's a skill I have. I can find the best thing on the menu. They always go, "Oh, that's good." With no prompt either. I don't go, "Hey, is this good?" I don't. That shows weakness. I never ask, "Hey, do you think this is good?" I know it's going to be good, and I usually get the best thing. And I don't like when you order. So I would order something, and then some idiot next to you, "Hey, that sounds good," and they get the exact same thing. It's like, no, get what you were gonna get. Don't order bite. I used to call it order biting. Don't order bite me. Now we look stupid. Now it's a whole table of chicken picadas or whatever. I can't stand that. And so my wife will do that, and she would always, "You're crazy." She's like, "That's crazy to care. No one should ever care." But I still care, and it still bothers me. But no one can go out to eat now anyway, so solves the problem. But is that crazy?
Oh,
do you find that crazy?
I don't know. On episode 1, I wanna support you.
You have no backup?
I can pretend. I don't know, because first of all, I'm offended because you made fun of me about twice during the setup because I'm the guy that's like, "Hey, is this any good? Should I get that?" Yeah. I'll literally ask the waitress, "Now, what should I get?" My wife always laughs because I'll be like, "What should I get?" But what's more food? The wings?
Right. What's more quantity? If you were filling a slot bucket, what would fill it higher? What would rate? Like on Nickelodeon Double Dare, you're trying to get to a line. What would get it over the line? Imagine I'm the line. Is the wings?
The line is right here.
Right.
I have to fill it.
We need to fill it. What's going to get me to the top? That's also funny that you ever ask, because having eaten a lot of meals with you, you'd probably be like, "What's better, the chicken pot pie or the steak tartare, the tuna tartare?" "Oh, yeah, okay, I'll have 3 hot dogs." No matter what's on the menu, you're just gonna get hot dogs anyway. So I don't know why no one's ever gonna order by you. That's probably why you don't care.
Yeah, that's true. No one has ever copied my order.
Yeah,
so that's why. I can get in your headset. I can understand, okay, I can see how that would. It just doesn't bother me, and it's never happened to me. But I can see.
I just like the idea of when people are walking. I care too much what people think. I care too much what the waiter thinks. But just it's nice to have a little diversity on the table. You don't want to walk by and see everybody has the same thing. It looks stupid. It's like, what are you guys at a wedding? Did you all have to get the same thing? Change it up. Plus, you're at a restaurant, you don't go there every night, so you want to sample different things, and I can try something off your plate, vice versa. But have a little courage of your convictions.
Yeah,
I'm not getting through. I'm not breaking through.
I don't like the whole. I don't like the whole. "Oh, you get this and I'll get this, and then we'll eat half of each other's food." No, I'm not saying what half. I want. Okay.
Right. But okay. So now you're kind of sounding like me. Get what you want. Don't get what you want. Like, oh, that sounds good because I wanted it. Get what you were gonna get.
Yeah.
Trust your first instincts.
So is it because you like there is an element of you thinking that the waiter will think you guys are stupid?
Yeah. I think waiters. I've never served waited tables, but I think servers or waiters, they judge each table.
They hated you when you walked in the door. I have been a waiter. I've been a waiter at many places.
Wait, why? Just because I'm a customer?
Respect. I've never gained respect for someone because, ooh, wow, 4 unique orders. Hey, Susie, check out my table. No repeat.
You didn't respect the diversity?
If anything,
I think it's nice.
If you're a waiter, how easy would this be? Oh, I'll get the lasagna, and everyone else, oh yeah, let's do 4 of those. It's waiter's favorite table.
It's easier, sure, but I mean, lots of things in life are easy. Right. It doesn't mean they're good.
It's easy to sleep with your phone by your head, but it doesn't mean it's good.
Right. Yeah, but okay, so this is how far I would even take it. So then I thought, well, I'll order last, right? Because if I order last, then I can ensure that nobody copies me. Okay.
Yeah, but then you're losing your options.
I know, but I would have enough. I would always have a backup. I'd have the thing I'm going to get, and then I have a backup in case I thought too many people or the person right before me got the thing I got.
You do know how to eat.
Yeah. Trust me. And then, but then, okay, now maybe you can agree with this is the most horrendous case. This is where it's gone too far. Is if I'll order something at the end, unique, and then someone changes their order to bite mine. Can you support me there?
That's for sure.
That's annoying, sure, right? Yeah. It's a bridge too far.
That's hey, come on, what are we doing here? That's
as close as I'm gonna get.
That's frustrating me because just everything you said where it's like, all right, I'm willing to change my order just for the sake of nobody copying my order, and then it's like they're cheating.
It's totally.
You can't change it once you cheated because
it's in, and it's harder for the waiter, right? Because now you gotta cross something out or whatever you people do. I don't know how it works.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's as close as I'm gonna get from any sort of agreement on you.
I'll support you there.
I appreciate that.
Yes. Well, should I do another one or should we? Keep it sweet.
Do one more because I did 2, so you do one more, and then that's probably enough grievances.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny! I just realized I had one written down that was about social distancing, but we already pretty much talked about that. Some people like justify, oh, I'm going to go to my friend's house because we're both quarantining. Okay, but you're both still.
Wait, really quick. That's so funny because they literally don't understand how this works. Like, oh, you've been quarantined? I've been quarantined. Oh, we can just hang out? Yeah, we can just have football again because anyone who's been quarantined, 70,000 of them can go to the stadium. It should be no problem.
Right.
That's so funny because they said you made fun of me because I think it was you or somebody else on a group chat made fun of me because I was trying to watch the NFL draft while doing a Zoom comedy show. And they said that because they were trying to show the players' living room still, even though everyone's quarantined. So they got cameras in there and they had, their parents or whoever they're quarantined with. But there were several times you could see very far in the corner, like clearly they were having a giant party and people were, once they got drafted, they wanted to run into the room and celebrate. And their parents like, get back, we're on TV. You get arrested, And the ESPN even came out and said like there were several times they couldn't show the players' room because they had like 50 people in the living room, and they're like, we don't want to get them in trouble or whatever. So yeah, I think a lot of people in America are using loose science when it comes to the quarantine.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Here, I'll do this one then. This one's quick. You have to be on my side here. So basically, I think that it's ridiculous at this time. While we're quarantined and there's a pandemic, to go on Facebook Marketplace and buy shitty old children's furniture used from people and then make your husband go pick it up when it's without the dimensions at all
Uh-huh.
and bring it home. Because I go and can I show you? I'm going to just show
Yeah,
you. It's this
please do.
gigantic.
Oh, your studio transformed.
Oh yeah. Whoops. Do you see the kitchen? The kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, that looks fun.
Yeah. Well, do you think that would fit in the back of a minivan?
Of course. I think it
wouldn't.
It wouldn't. Oh, okay.
Well, that's because you saw a picture of it, which is what my wife saw, is a picture of it. And so I went to go in the minivan, seats down and everything. It's too wide. It won't fit in any door. And luckily, so I'm like, that thing is heavy as shit. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I just drove 20 minutes to get to this thing. It doesn't fit in my car. I can see people watching me. The people, because, when you do that, they just leave it in the driveway. They're like, okay, then
Well, right. Especially now. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't want to get, whatever COVID from me. So I'm trying to lift this thing on top of the van all by myself. It took me, probably 20 minutes. I am furious because I didn't want to spend money on this thing.
Uh-huh.
Used and broken and missing parts. And I put it on there. Luckily we had the straps, but I don't really know how to use those ratchet straps,
Oh,
so I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to teach myself how to use them.
While people are watching you?
Watching me out the window, like, hey, look at this idiot lifting
Nightmare.
this huge thing all by himself. And then so I texted everyone on the way. Before I left, I texted my brother. I thought it was my brother, but it was a text chain to everyone in my family. So I got in trouble for that. Because I was like, hey, in case you watch the news, you guys should watch the news tonight in case you hear a story of some guy who went to pick up some piece of shit old dirty kitchen kid set and it flew off his car on the highway and killed people. And I accidentally sent it to everyone. And so then that was a big thing. So, so can you support me? That's ridiculous.
I support you every step of the way of this story. First of all, buying used kids' toys in a pandemic is a huge red flag for me. That thing is covered in COVID. It's probably more virus than toy at this point. No. I don't think. I was gonna buy. We need a dresser, and we're like, we just think get Goodwill or something, just a cheap dresser. But we were like, well, clearly we'll wait till after the pandemic to buy used furniture. So that's already, but maybe they wiped it down. Did they assure you that it was wiped down?
No. But my but I had to wipe it down. My wife had to wipe it down with bleach wipes or whatever else. So we did it.
So that's fine. Okay, but I'm with you on that. But also, just the essentials right now. Obviously, I'm on board with, not spending. Although you are saving money because it's used, I guess. But
I don't know if we would have an episode 2 if you weren't on my side with this one.
No, I'm 100% on your side. And there is nothing worse in the world than people watching you do something that you don't know how to do, but you have to front
my anger. Yeah.
You have to front like you do know how to do. There's just nothing. And then they're like, they can't even help. Cause then hopefully in a normal situation, some know-it-all guy would come out and be like, hey, do you need some help with that? And you'd have to either admit that you do or dig yourself in deeper and just say no and tell them to screw off or whatever. But my brother-in-law's car had a flat tire and, he was like, oh, I should go I need to change a tire. And he had a spare and everything. And, oh, you're on the move.
It's my mobile studio. I just left my charger up here. I'm at 4%, so that's why.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I was thinking maybe you're gonna take it to the street here, yell at some neighbors. No, but do some man on the street bits to close it out. But no, I know exactly what you're talking about. And then we were gonna change the tire, and I was like, oh, I'll go out and help you, and but then it was just those I don't know. Have you ever tried to change a tire? The lug nuts are just like no one's ever changed them before, and the lug nuts are just so tight that it's impossible. And neither of us. So we're just leaning on we just could not. And then we just did the dumb guy thing where after a while you go, the tire place is only like a block away. I don't think you need, I think you can drive it for a block, right? We're like, yeah. So then we just had to abandon the whole operation, and all the neighbors are just like, oh, I guess they just aren't going to change that tire. They spent 25 minutes trying to.
Oh, I guess
very humiliating
make
defeat.
their car worse. Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Oh no! It turns out the tire didn't need air. We looked into it. It's fine.
We spent 20 minutes checking. It's not flat. It's not flat.
I was just checking. I could have done it, but it shouldn't be a problem. Because everyone's like, do you know how to change a tire? It's like, yeah, I know how. It's hard when when those lug nuts won't move. I don't know what to do about that. No one tells you what to do about that.
Yeah, when you're standing on it and bouncing on it with all your weight and nothing's happening.
Right. So then what? Smart guy?
No.
I don't know. But I'm 100% behind you. Yeah. But you didn't have to put it together though.
It
was already put together. Yeah.
I should have taken it apart to get it in the car.
I don't know. Putting it together sounds like a nightmare too, but yeah. No. Do the kids like it? Is it super fun?
Nobody's used it once. We've had it about 2 weeks. That's the other thing is
you're like you have to use it to justify you're like pretending to make an omelet and stuff. You're so mad.
Yeah. It's for my daughter that's 12 months old. So it's like, well, when she's 2, she'll like it. Well, maybe
good thing we got it during the height of COVID-19.
Yeah.
Were you wearing the mask when you went and picked it up or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What's your mask situation? Real quick before we wrap it up. What's your mask situation?
It's just one of those. I mean, I don't know. My wife had them. We have like 4 of those
surgical ones or whatever.
Surgical ones. And I don't know what we got.
My aunt made them pretty snazzy ones. Like they're all floral print and stuff. So they're kind of fashionable.
Yeah, like the one. Yeah, like the ones I saw at Trader Joe's.
They're better than that. Okay, my aunt handmade them. They're not like the ones at Trader Joe's.
Oh, sorry.
They do kind of look like a Trader Joe's. Like
no, I don't mean like the Trader Joe's ones. I'm saying everyone at Trader Joe's.
Was yeah. No,
it's wearing the stylish ones that our aunts made, or your aunt made.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. That's pretty good. So we're like 3 for 4. I think you could not get behind me on the order binding, but we'll take it.
But I don't think you're a fool. I blame myself because
no. Honesty is the best policy ultimately. So and you tried. That's all that counts is trying. Yes. So that's it. Thank you to everybody who listened or watched this. It's our first episode. Hopefully there'll be many more. And see you later, dude.
Yeah, do we want to have a nickname for our listeners? Like Cavaliers?
The Cavs?
Yeah, Cavs.
Yeah, let's just steal
all my Cavs out there.
Hey, maybe we can just get all the Cavs fans confused and make them think this is a Cavalier podcast.
We'll get much bigger numbers that way.
We should have picked a better team. Had more fans. I think since LeBron left, there's not a lot of interest in a Cavs podcast, but well, we'll try.
All right, we'll figure it out sooner or later.
Yeah, we'll come up with a name. We'll let it happen organically. We'll get some ideas, and we're gonna try and put this out on all the ways that you can consume it. So it should be everywhere. And thanks for listening.
All right. That's
see you, Johnny. One in the can. We're on our way. Let's start that Patreon.